Philadelphia Eagles are chasing that 7th seed, one of those 7 playoff spots. We're in the hunt. Let's talk about it. Overreaction Monday, guys. What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, Division Rivals? This is Stephen Hyder, Gate City Sports Channel. Sports Channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. Welcome to the Overreaction Monday, guys. This was a big, important win for the Philadelphia Eagles. They said we couldn't run. We would be nowhere near 200 rushing yards on this defense, right? I mean, this is the number 1 rushing defense in the NFL. It had several playmakers out there. This was going to be one of the greatest battles we were going to see amongst the linemen between our O-line and their D-line. Our O-line won, guys. Over 200 yards, nearly 250 yards. We absolutely dominated the Saints in the running game. To be honest with you, I know the score makes this game seem close. The reality is, this was not a close game at all. Let's get into some of the details, though. Just what kind of day did the Eagles have running the football? Go look at the blocking report from PFF, guys, and you'll see. Congratulations to Jack Driscoll. What a way to respond. Hey, I'll admit, I was all over Jack Driscoll saying that, with the change in the offense, Nate Herbig was looking like potentially the better play inside at guard. But he showed up, man. Jack Driscoll was our highest graded run blocker overall. Second highest if you looked at gap, which we mostly ran gap. They were pulling them, guys. They were pulling Jack Driscoll. They were pulling Kelce. And those guys had high grades. Mulata was the third guy when you looked at just gap blocking assignments. Guys, that just means you're blocking down into gap, moving a guy out of the gap. A lot of times it comes with basically pulling guards and motioning type stuff as well. Those guys graded out tremendously. We absolutely took it to the number 1 run defense in the league. And this offensive line should be celebrated as the heroes it has become over the last 4 weeks or so. Because our offensive line has always been good. I don't think anyone's ever doubted that. Even when we had injuries, the line still exceeded expectations given what we were throwing out there and what you probably should have expected. Jack Driscoll, though, man. What a game from Jack Driscoll. Follow that up. You don't even need me to tell you that Jason Kelce had a good game. You could see it pretty clearly on Sunday yourselves. I guarantee it. But, man, this was a really, really exciting way to kind of go in there and attack a football team like this that was supposed to shut us down. All right, getting to the last point I want to talk about today, guys, which is what a phenomenal performance. But let's get into the things that got to improve, right? Any football team, any fan base, we should still stay critical even when we're performing really well and know we got away with some things. Miles Sanders on the goal line area, fumbled one, put one on the ground. The second one, I'm going to be honest with you guys. You guys know I'm an Eagles fan. I love the Eagles. But, boy, they blew that whistle awful early. We got away with one there, and I'm glad it happened. I'll take it. But we got to talk about ball security. That's kind of an issue because clearly this is going to be a run-centered offense. Miles Sanders is clearly our most explosive player. He's got to have a role. He's got to have some kind of fit for this offense, especially if we're talking about potentially playing in January. With that said, ball security, guys. That's a big thing for Miles Sanders. It's hard to describe how you make a guy more secure with the ball. I mean, you can draw his attention to things, make sure that he's holding that ball up there nice and high and tight, got it tucked in there good. He's not pulling it away from the body, nothing like that to get it stripped away. When you're getting hit and you're getting that, you got to wrap that ball up securely. I mean, all those things, sure, but practice makes perfect, I guess, is what I'm getting to, guys. Like, the only way you really get around that is through repetition, because repetition is what sets into your mind. The more you do something, the more it becomes secondhand nature, and this has to be an issue that becomes secondhand nature. I'm hoping we're just shaking off some rust for Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders, I'm not gonna harp on this guy too much, man. He still put up 90-some yards on the ground. He still showed that explosiveness and the reason that we can be dangerous with a guy like Miles Sanders. Just got to protect the football better. And that's one thing I will say about Nick Sirianni, man. I love what Nick Sirianni has done recently. You guys know I've been a big Nick Sirianni fan since the beginning. But with that said, better decisions, man, on personnel at times. Down around the goal line like that. Maybe that's not the best place for Miles Sanders. I understand you can't go with one player every time in certain situations. And I understand that we want to be a little balanced because we don't want to put Sanders in every time we're on the goal line and tip off that we're going a screen or we're doing, something like that. I get it. But we should probably consider backing those handoffs back when we're in that situation and giving those to a Jordan Howard, someone who's more opportunity to get you 3 or 4 yards to push you away from the goal line a little bit and also protect that football a little bit. So little subtle things like that, guys, is kind of what I would add into it. But nonetheless, guys, this was a dominating performance from this offensive football team. Final concluding thoughts, guys. So just a couple of in and out notes here about the passing game. I'm not going to harp too much on the passing game because it's kind of second nature to the design of the offense right now. But it is important that we execute in those 20 to 30 attempts you're going to get a game. You have to execute at a pretty high rate. I got to say that since Devontae Smith had that rough outing a few games ago where he dropped a few that they were hard. Look, they weren't perfect passes and they were difficult catches, but they probably should have been made. Since that day, he's been pretty good. Now the focus kind of turns to Dallas Goedert, right? Because Dallas Goedert put a couple on the ground late in that game that were pretty big that could have backed us up off the, it could have given us decent opportunities for conversions, and he dropped the ball on those. So, I mean, Dallas Goedert's the next guy I'm kind of looking to like, hey, man, you just got this huge contract. You're kind of the dude here in Philly now. Like, you and Devontae Smith are really going to be focal points for those running backs at this offense. So, got to secure those catches when they come to you, my guy. I mean, I know it's NFL, no catch is necessarily easy unless you break free and you're just really running wide open. But nonetheless, got to secure those catches, man. But outside of that, we also got, we're still searching, guys. I'm going to get into the Rager thing, separate video. We're still searching to implement. It's not just that these guys can't play. That's not what's going on. It's larger than that, guys. The issue's a lot bigger than that. In some circumstances, we're having difficulty integrating guys into the offense, right? And that falls on everybody, from the head coach to the quarterback to the individual player, doing things probably not just in game day, but some of this is probably leaking into the practice field, and maybe that's why when they're getting open, they're not getting looks that they probably should be getting. I mean, you have to kind of consider all that stuff that surrounds it all. But outside of that, guys, like we do. It was nice to see JJ step up and get a conversion, big catch in a big moment. We need somebody else to step up, man. There's not a lot of targets, I get it, but somebody needs to be somewhat dependable. Another guy, a third guy, between the tight ends and the receivers, outside of Devontae, just Dallas Goedert. Somebody else has got to, come on, step up, somebody, please, anybody. I don't even care who it is at this point. Quez, Rager, JJ, Greg Ward Jr., Jack Stahl probably not going to happen. He's more of a blocker right now. But you get what I'm saying. Anybody, man. Any of these guys. Somebody needs to step up, guys. But all right, y'all. That's what I got for you on this Overreaction Monday. We're in the hunt, guys. This is pretty exciting, man. This is a really, really good feeling. You guys remember how bad it was last year at this time? Man, it don't feel like that now, guys. So let's get excited for that. All right, y'all. Peace. I'm out here. I appreciate y'all tuning in.